Destroying Destiny, Book 2, The Tooth Bully, Chapter 12, The Mirror of Fear. At first, nothing happened. The mirror merely mirrored Gertrude in the sky behind him. "Ha! I told you, Pancake," Gertrude smirked. "Come see. I have no fear." Pancake sighed under her breath, walked over, and looked around his shoulder. "See? Nothing," he said. "Give it some time." Pancake backed up, making sure no part of her was in the mirror as to dilute the fears reflected. The boy looked to the mirror, and his fears looked back. Mist swirled and whirled upon the surface of the glass, and parted and cleared to show Gertrude from times long past. Gertrude's youngest nightmares and simple scares quickly appeared and vanished from the mirror's revelatory stage. Him having too many legs, being enslaved to a Clark's mage, and his old stuffed dog sheep being locked in a cage. But soon terrific terrors no more primal and real, memories too long forgotten, that gave him a chill. Gertrude, being no more than 8, took Steve off his back and set him on the ground. "Please stop!" Gertrude cried. He balled his fists. Steve sat on the ground next to him while crowds of children crowded around Gertrude, crowing their crude jests. "Tch, girly Gertrude, a girl's name," a red-haired boy laughed. "Shame you don't have the hair to fit it." Gertrude wrapped his arms around his hairless head, crying under his breath. "Girly Gertrude, girly Gertrude." Through his tears, Gertrude yelled, "It's not my fault. My mommy didn't know it was a girl's name." "Yeah, right, you bald girl." "Hey, leave him alone," Steve zipped from the ground. "And his only friend is a backpack." The scene shifted to years before. Barely able to hold his sword, Gertrude sparred with his dad. "Come on, son, take Steve off so you can move freely," his dad advised. "But Daddy, he's my friend," the small boy said, swinging his sword and being slung by the momentum. He fell to the ground. "Now, son." His dad knelt beside the boy, placing his hand on the boy's bald head. "I know he's your friend, but there are many mean people out there that would harm you. And if setting him down means you can protect both you and Steve, you need to do it." "But Daddy..." "Don't fail me, Gertrude. Never lose a fight. Never let me down." The scene shifted once more. It was his fight in Candy City's dungeons, except no one was there but he and Carl, the candy guard. There was no bellows of Calvin the ape, nor any ruckus from thrown candies. Only Carl and Gertrude fought, their words and swords clashing. "He didn't train you well enough," Carl smiled, managing to thrust Gertrude's sword out of the boy's hand and kick him to the honey-soaked ground. With a clench of his jaw, Gertrude turned away from the mirror of fear. He stood up, looked to the pigs, then to Pancake. "Here, take your mirror. You didn't watch, right? I mean..." "Gertrude, are you okay?" the girl asked. Gertrude closed his eyes, smirked, and ran his hand through his hair. "Yeah, I'm fine. I may not be able to see you, but I can hear you." "You need to wrestle with your fears," Steve zipped. With a twitch of his eyes and muscles, Gertrude charged back into the pig pen, jumping through the air and onto the back of one of the winged swine. The shocked pig oinked and snorted in retort, flapping its wings and spraying mud everywhere, anywhere, and every anywhere. It lifted off the ground in a twisted rage of pig proportions, swerving and swaying. "I got it!" Gertrude cried out in triumph. No later than Gertrude had succeeded, he had failed. With an oink, the airborne pig threw the boy off, and he slammed into the ground with a thud. Sheer determination doesn't always mean success, Steve sighed, or at least that's what I've heard. In the distance, Pancake heard the candy guards, having stopped the suckers hugging, charging towards her, Gertrude, and Steve. "Hurry up, boys, before they can get away," commanded one of the guards. "Well, I suppose it's my turn to get a pig," Pancake said, a shiver going down her spine. "Ugh, this is utterly disgusting." Pancake walked past Gertrude, stepped into the pen, grimacing at the ooze of the mud. "Here, piggy, piggy," she whispered, stiff and straight. All the pigs perked up, their ears turning towards her, and their noses flaring wildly. "Oh no, the one time I succeed," she muttered. They glided towards her as a jumbled mess of pig feathers and mud, bumping and jumping into one another. And in glee they nuzzled and licked the poor girl, who shuddered with disgust and let one gumdrop tear fall to the mud. Okay, let's calm down now," Pancake said. "You guys aren't scary, just gross." She peered through the mess, finding the largest one. "Mr. Fat Flying Pig Swine Thing? I need you. Come here, Mr. Fat Pig." Gertrude rolled his eyes. "I don't think he's going to come to you just like that." Sure enough, the largest, fattest, flabbiest pig waddled over to Pancake, stretching out its majestic wings. Pancake stood motionless while the large pig shoved past all the smaller ones. "Hey, would you look at that?" Pancake nervously laughed. "Its name is tattooed on its side. His name is Mr. Fat Flying Pig Swine Thing." "What are the odds?" Steve laughed. "Yeah, this is great," Gertrude sighed. "I'll tell you what's great. We are!" called out the candy guards, being almost to our heroes. "They're trying to escape on the flying pigs! Hurry, surround them!" "Gertrude!" Pancake yelled from the pen. "Got it!" Gertrude jumped up and grabbed their belongings and rushed to the pen. Before Mr. Flying Pig Swine Thing could dash away, Pancake stuck out her hand. "Please, stay, let us ride you," she asked. The pig swung its head back and forth, spreading mud along the ground with its quadruple chins. Then with a gruff huff, it lowered to the ground, letting Pancake swing her leg over its back. "Come on, Gertrude, hurry up!" Gertrude jumped the fence as the candy guards closed in, and Mr. Fat angrily snorted a spray of mud as the boy neared. "It's okay," Pancake sighed, patting the swine. Gertrude placed his hand on the pig. It shifted. Then he swung his leg over. Mr. Fat grunted, tensed, then relaxed as Pancake scratched behind his ears. "Get in the pen, boys! We can't let Supreme Darls down!" Again, the commander bellowed. "You don't have an ape to protect you this time, boy!" Carl the candy guard yelled. "Why don't you come fight?" Gertrude put his hand to his sword, but before he could jump off the pig, Steve bellowed through his zippers, "Yicky! Yicky!" And without delay, Mr. Fat Flying Pig Swine Thing readied its feathers, mud flying and hitting Candy Guard a many. The initial down thrust of its wings knocked the rest that were standing on their feet, and with a slow start, Mr. Fat began flying the girl, the boy, and the backpack toward the Syrup River, escaping Candy City's guards by the hair of the fat flying pig's unskinny chin.